A Turkish-French clash here at the ESL Pro League, live from the Intel Esports Arena. Match day number 4 is coming to a swift close here. Only 2 maps remaining, and what those 2 are going to be is Cash and Inferno between G2 and the SpaceSoldiers. My name is Trey Saranthus alongside of Chad Burchill, and well, for this last one, we saved the very, very best. We do have the likes of G2, SpaceSoldiers. We know exactly what to expect, perhaps, given the parameters. Chad, anything you'd like to add?
Are you calling them onliners again?
I'm not calling them onliners,
It feels
Chad.
like you're alluding to the fact that they do better online.
I'm simply saying that they're more comfortable online from the outside looking in.
Oh.
But then again, that's the outside looking in. And with that, of course, perhaps we could talk a little bit about Cash being the first matchup and maybe some big picture storylines we should talk about going into
Yeah,
this
I think if we just start looking at these 2 teams on paper, one of the core has played 336 maps together. The other have only played 41. Which one's which, Trace?
SpaceSoldiers is the long-running one.
Exactly. Now, these guys have been together for a very long time, but if you look at G2, let's give you a bit of a rundown on G2. Lots of roster changes and shuffles in the French scene of recent time. Now, this iteration of G2 has superseded the one that was led by MBK and Apex. We did have that tumultuous time in the early stages of this year. Now, we do have Shox in there as a star with Kenny S. Those 2 guys being on the same team is what you want. That is what this team is built around. Think about it from this point. You have Existence as the in-game leader, and then Body and, I suppose, Smiths as the supportive players.
So perhaps just because it's hot off the presses, what is something we knew coming into today, Chad?
Well, Kenny S has not signed the contract like the rest of his teammates until 2020. His contract will end in February next year, which means he can be a free agent to go wherever he wants. What does that tell you? Hey, maybe he's not potentially happy with this roster. Maybe he wants to keep his options open, which, as one of the best AWP players in the world, I can't blame him.
You know, in theory, you had a lot of room to run there when it came to options, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh.
Little cheese.
No, that was cool, bro.
Cheese.
That's
Either
where
way,
we play the cricket sound effect.
Yeah, we don't have that, unfortunately.
Oh, we don't have
Maybe
that?
we do. I'm sure they'll fly it in here any second now. But the point is, this G2 lineup looks good on paper for the most part.
Yeah.
Are there any question marks surrounding this lineup?
I have a question for you. It's more of a statement. It's not a question at all.
All right.
You ready for this one?
Yeah, man.
This is going to blow your mind. This will blow everyone at home's mind. You ready for this?
Sure thing, man.
Your car keys travel further than your car.
Yeah, in a roundabout way. I think you're onto something.
But
That's
they
not
definitely
bad.
do, right? Because you walk with your car keys in your pocket. So they're traveling more than what your car, because your car stops.
You know,
But
they
your
always
car
said
can't
that,
travel without the keys.
Yeah, they always said that you guys down under were just a hair different than everyone else.
I got a couple hairs different to everyone else, mate. They're on my head.
Well, you know what, Chad? We got roughly 5 minutes till we get this one underway, and it's going to be that Cash matchup. Chad, enough about our hair, enough about the dingoes and drongos or whatever the hell is going on down there.
Dingo got me, baby. That's actually a very sad story. But we won't get stuck on that one. We'll talk about SpaceSoldiers, which is also kind of a sad story because they've had a lot of visa issues over recent times, especially the major where Engine wasn't able to get his passport back in time to attend the biggest event of the year. However, in the online realms, we have been seeing how good they can do online. They, took Astralis last night to overtimes in both games, winning one of those matchups. That's fantastic for these guys. And at the moment, in my books, they're looking like one of the stronger teams in Pro League and should be within that top 7 when we get on that road to Odense.
Yeah, that road to Odense could be a long one considering if you think about what they have to formulate together. We didn't really see them climb to new heights over there in New York, but this is a different time. Am I right?
I definitely think it is a different time for this G2 roster. They did look a little bit flat on certain maps throughout the major run and throughout their time at ESL One New York. During the Face It major, I was actually a bit confused with some of their mid-round decision making. We want the stars to step up. At least in the last couple of days, it has been Shox, it has been Kenny. They have been getting the work done, and other members are able to contribute. If you look at the flip side of that with SpaceSoldiers,
yes, let's begin that. Let's begin the transition over to the SpaceSoldiers. Let's do just that. Chad, tell me about this storyline. You said they've got an oodle of maps played together, and yes, I believe the last line appearance would have been Istanbul. So perhaps what do we know about them?
These guys have a very good attitude to the game and are led by Matchday, who is a 1.6 player, used to play within the French scene, and he has a fantastic attitude not only for the game but for life, and that's something which I think he's definitely instilled within his players. Now you look at this roster, there's 2 clear stars as well, very similar makeup to that of the G2. It is Calyx and it is Zentares. Both of these kids can put absolute fire down range, as you like to say it, Trace. You look at who's been playing well for them in recent times online, it has been Paz. He's been that 3rd star contributing force. Engine is definitely in a very supportive role, and Matchday, as I already touched on, is an in-game leader, also doing some of the AWPing duties alongside of Paz. So this team, they put in a lot of practice, they put in a lot of hard work. There's actually slight innovation. I used to love watching them on Cobblestone, but going into a map like Cache, not going to say cash, you're not going to convert me. They can kind of treat it as an A map with their stars. They were getting a lot of territory when we saw them playing it earlier in the week, and from there they were just kind of dueling onto bomb sites. Was it Ninjas in Pajamas, I think we watched them playing on the first day, where they were just executing onto that B bomb site, and then they were just doing A executes. They weren't really worried too much about mid control in the early stages.
Yeah, it did look like they had a formulated game plan, so to say, the way they wanted to attack it tactically. But I guess going into this one, they're going to have to play against the odds of perhaps a Kenny S coming online with an AWP, or maybe a Shox having a monumental stand, which he tends to have every now and then.
Yeah, look, it's not too worrisome considering the circumstances we have ourselves under. You look at G2, out of all those matches they've played, they've only won 13. I said they have played 41 matches. They have only won 13. That's not a fantastic ratio at all for a team which does have Kenny S in it, which does have Shox in it. They're not performing up to their standard, and I think SpaceSoldiers will dispatch them with relative ease, unfortunately.
You know, just a little bit of sidebar here. I think an interesting statistic I'd like to see is how many times have we seen cash? I feel like it's slowly fading.
It definitely has been, especially on LAN tournaments. I'm not saying that teams like, I think that's because of how much of a middle ground it is. Teams and, you know, in-game leaders know that a lot of the CT side is about gamble stacking. It's not necessarily about, you know, if you try and hold and just defend bomb sites in that fashion, it's not so easy to do that. But two factors for both of these teams we can be looking at over the last 3 months. SpaceSoldiers on LAN have played this 5 times. They've won it 4, lost it once, and they have a 70% win ratio on pistol rounds, which is fantastic. You look at this over on the G2 side of things, they've played this map 6 times on LAN. They've only won it twice, lost 4, but they have a pistol round win percentage of 75%. Now you think about that, they're winning 75% out of 8 games, and they're only winning 2 out of those games. Pistol rounds are normally what we set up as very important factors to winning matches, and they're getting that done easily. They're just not being able to convert the gun rounds, Trace, and that's going to be a worrisome sign because you want to get the big green in Kenny S's hands, and if your economy is getting stifled on that CT side, you're going to be in a bit of trouble.
You got to kind of speculate here. You got to wonder, you know, if he is holding out on this contract for whatever reason, is there a rift? Is there something weird going on within the very core of the basis of this team?
Well, Kenny always said that he wanted to play in a team with more structure. When MBK was the in-game leader, when Happy was the in-game leader, there's not a lot of structure going on in those rosters. MBK didn't get a fair chance to in-game lead, to be completely honest with you. But at least with Existence, he knows it's built around him. The system is built around him. Now, look, if I was Kenny, I wouldn't have a problem doing exactly what he's doing. The contract's still good for another like 4 or 5 months, right? Why not? Why not take your time? Why not wait and see what other options come out? Maybe this Vitality roster that's going to have MBK, Apex, Zywoo, those kind of boys on it, maybe they'll be wanting him. You never know.
Which is a weird sort of scenario, I suppose. Let's also bring in some more weird here. We got these 2 guys, and Harry and Hugo, you guys have been doing a fantastic job tonight. Might I add, and if you think that, you should also use hashtag ESL Pro League on your favorite social medias to get involved, get animated. Chad, let's continue the conversation here and try to lock down some real win conditions.
Look, I've already touted that the pistol rounds for both teams are fantastic. I think if SpaceSoldiers win even one of the pistols, we're going to be looking at like a 16-7 scoreline. G2 need to get those pistol rounds, and they need to convert to be competitive, because that's how influential that CT-sided economy can be. Get the AWPs up, allow Shox to roam around and do his best. We just need Smiths and Old Mate Existence. Just get 1 frag, 1 and done.
Come alive in the nighttime. That is exactly what we're going to be looking to see here from G2 and SpaceSoldiers. And of course, to bring you that action via commentary is going to be the likes of Harry and Hugo, the dynamic duo. Take it away, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. G2 versus SpaceSoldiers, and the map, the scene, that's going to be cash. Hugo, heading into this one, you know, there's been a bit of turbulent stuff going on as of late. Kind of just heard them touching on it there on the desk, and that's the whole Kenny S contract. We'll say kerfuffle right now, you know, it's all up in the air. You know, there's a bit of alliteration because we're feeling kind of jazz handy right now. Hugo, you know, how are you feeling heading into this one? You know, bearing in mind the current landscape with this G2 roster, what's going on there, bearing in mind how good SpaceSoldiers looked just yesterday.
Yeah.
What way do you see this one going?
I wouldn't be surprised if SpaceSoldiers take a win here, even if it's another split map series. Again, like for SpaceSoldiers' sake, that's a series that you're going to be happy with if you are SpaceSoldiers. They split maps versus Astralis last night, albeit being in overtime, you know, both overtime games. They split versus Malsports, again, a team that's coming fresh off of a win in New York. And hey, there's a very good chance for them to get at least 1 map here in this series. I don't think that SpaceSoldiers should be too worried coming into this one. Yesterday, they were looking on fire, they were looking warmed up. However, that is one factor, Harry. They haven't played any officials yet in the Pro League today, so the question is, are they on the same form that they were yesterday?
Well, you imagine they'd be coming on, into this game maybe on you're still riding out that high from the other day. Speaking of riding on a high. You can then pick up a limited time MSI offer. You can see it on your screen right there. MSI.com/2 best offer. How fun is that? Do you have an MSI?
We both have
we
MSI
both have
laptops,
MSI
yeah.
laptops. Funny how that happened by chance, but
and we pay for them as well. Where's our, I mean, worth its weight in gold, worth every penny. But MSI, hook us up if you wanna give us some new ones. I don't know, mine's pretty new anyway, so I think
don't know
we're okay
where
right
this
now.
fight.
Yeah.
We're really.
Harry, we only game on premium
We've
gear.
sold
We
out
only
already,
game on
yeah.
Intel i7. We only game on MSI laptops.
128 tick servers bought to you by
Yes.
ACA.
And we
pay
only
with
drink
it
the
all.
finest of beverages.
And we pay with it all with PaySafe cards. So there we go. That's how we get it done, Hugo. That's what we do. That's how we roll here on the Pro League mainstream. We got G2 versus SpaceSoldiers on the way over here on Cash. And already SpaceSoldiers over on this T side. Taking a look at the buy, Hugo, we can see Engine picking up the Molotov. He's also gone ahead and dropped a PT50 or two over to Zentares. And there's Major grabbing that smoke. You can take a look at these odds, and SpaceSoldiers, they're the favorites heading into this one. Let's wait and see how this pistol round pans out before we address that much more, because already Zentares looking to try and prove why those odds are in the favor of SpaceSoldiers.
Oh, Smith is caught at the forklift here. He needs to be careful. He could get eaten for dinner today by SpaceSoldiers. They're all over this bomb site. Existence finding a kill with the P2K, and Zentares and Paz coming to life on this site. There's no way G2 are going to be able to stop it. There's too many Turks. And SpaceSoldiers are going to win that pistol round very, very well. Let's talk about yesterday, because we had Zentares going off. We had Calyx going off. A bit of a new name to be top of the board for both games versus Astralis. That was Paz.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fantastic. If we can start to see, the three of these, I mean, these are really the three names we expect to see stepping up anyway. But there was a kind of a time where, Paz and Calyx would trade back and forth. Who was the one at the top of the board? There's a lot of firepower in this team, right? That's what we have to take into account. You have Zentares, who's this guy, he's been bigged up for years now as kind of, one of the main heroes within Turkish Counter-Strike. He's, playing out of his mind right now. And then he has Calyx and Paz accompanying him. So it's the perfect time here. SpaceSoldiers on the rise, but Body, tell you what, he's going to body the man in questions. And Tara's hitting the deck over towards main, and already all 5 players stacked up here for G2. SpaceSoldiers, are they going to keep on walking to the stack, or are they going to go ahead and turn around and head back, perhaps? Realizing that this site overrun right now with Frenchmen.
Yeah, this could be a very dangerous push. Flash in for G2, that's perfect. Everyone blinding for SpaceSoldiers, but Major and Paz still trade back after 1. It's a 3-on-3. Considering G2 brought pistols into this round, this is certainly not a bad start. And now the question is, do SpaceSoldiers expect the stack? Because not only did 2 players push main, but also a flashbang came out from another player. So they're aware there's at least one more guy there. And as a result, they're going to start to look towards greener pastures. Different parts of the map, and middle being one of them. Shock's tagged down. He needs to get out of this angle before they molly it, because they do have one on Major. If he can get that out, Shox is surely a dead man, and there we go. Major finding the cross shot as well to keep him down. 20 seconds left, Harry, and both these G2 players still here on A. That's where the bomb is, and that's where it must stay. Existence could win this round here and now with a couple of well-placed Eagle shots, and there's the start that he needs. Calyx tagged down to 5 HP, and Kenny S just needs to kill both players here. He's got 5 seconds left to stay alive, and Paz has already finished it off. Unfortunate stuff there for Kenny. But still, for G2, a round where they don't buy up armor, a round where they only put in deagles, they get 3 kills. Could be a lot worse.
Yeah, it certainly could be a lot worse. Could have been a lot better too, though. They were very, very close to closing that one out. But they're going to have their first shot in the following round when they manage to get their first buy in. Eager to be back out on Existence, and at Shocks, can't say I blame them. They do a lot of damage in that previous round, as you say, so a chance to go ahead and do that much more. Existence over here in mid with the Deeg in hand, about to go toe-to-toe with Zentares, perhaps. Actually decides to back away, give it up for now, and that's going to leave Smiths on highway as the man in the spotlight right now. He's been spotted out by Zentares. Still yet to lead to anything. SpaceSoldiers giving a lot of respect away at GT. Don't want to risk walking into another stack, perhaps a little bit haunted by how close that previous round did it come. But now they've taken control of mid, and then they're going to start to ease their way on forward over here towards A. Look at this, though. G2 amassing an armada down in Z. Major about to be tested. 4 players flooding his crosshair. They've actually all just evaded him for the time being. Major on the highway. It's a drive-by as he shuts down 3, and that is going to be now just Kenny and Shox left alive.
Filthy stuff from Major. He may even get the ace after all because they're only on USPs with that lone Shox Deagle. That reload has to come in back to the Glock for Calix. He doesn't want the captain of SpaceSoldiers to run away with too much here. So 4 kills for Major. Nice timing on that highway push especially. And a good 3-0 start here for SpaceSoldiers. But here's where things get interesting, Harry. Buy up for G2. And while they don't have the AWP just yet, we already know SpaceSoldiers are a team that are fairly reluctant to bring out that ult. We've seen it, on Major and Calix. Those are the 2 players that we typically go to with the AWP. But especially on the T side, this team is very reluctant to run anything other than 5 rifles. For now, they're still running that 1 Mac-10, but the thing is, G2 have brought up head armor on 3 out of 5 players, so that might not have too much effect here. Great nade from G2 to start things off. That's going to do significant damage to Major and Engine.
Things heating up for Body as he's flushed out from quad. Calix, the man leading the charge over here towards the truck, but it's Paz the first to fall. There's Body finally going to be securing that man advantage for G2. Swiftly traded courtesy of Calix. The trade's going left and right. SpaceSoldiers still with plenty of time left, are looking fairly committed at this point in time. And Zintares been able to get by over here onto quad. He's just going to tuck himself away for now, while Major and Engine, they've fallen back. They've left main. They've given up this A bomb site for the time being. Shox has gone aggressive over here in mid, and he hasn't spotted that bomb rotate back yet. Yet still, you can see Shox and, Body in existence heading over towards that B bomb site. Now they turn back, and Torres emerging from quad. Going to find a quick double. Might get taken down here, but he's able to outstay as well from just that little bit longer. Not quite good enough to grab that 3rd, but it will still be the 2-on-2 in the post plant. Major down here in mid, that's the X factor.
Oh, this off angle. Oh, it's going to be spotted. Shox sees the barrel of the rifle, and Major's going to be caught out. Now it's just Engine, and he's got to be a total machine here in the squeaky door if he wants to win this round. They have a smoke for his position as well. And that bomb, that's not planted for him. He has to leave the door to kill a planter on the right side of the bomb. Smoke goes down, but they don't know just yet. He finally shows his face, but that's when Existent takes it right off. Defuse can come in here for G2 despite the lack of kit, and that is their first round on the board. But what a heroic play from Zantares. Really nice to see him stay on the bomb site and the rest of SpaceSoldiers leave A to try and take the heat away, take the attention away. It's almost around for SpaceSoldiers, but G2 just get the better of them. So first CT round on the board. SpaceSoldiers able to buy back. And even had the Mac-10 on Engine. He loves this. I wouldn't be surprised if we just see a fast B play here from SpaceSoldiers. Engine loves just picking up a Mac-10 and running into a bomb site.
Well, yeah, let's see. You've looked into your crystal ball. You've foretold the future, and now we see if it comes through. Maybe it's not going to be B, but maybe you're right about the faster playing towards one of these bomb sites. They're initially setting up over here towards A. Lining up the smokes, flashes, everything they need, and SpaceSoldiers for the 5th time. Now they're going to try and hit this A bomb site, so in they go. You were bang on there about a much faster play. Engine looking to try and open things up with his Mac-10. It's Zintares, though, the first to fall. Calix going to trade things back as him and Paz between them getting the job done. Kenny and Shox all the remaining. Kenny's going to fall, so blink of an eye, it's all eyes on Shox in a 1v3 from truck, but that made deny the bomb plant is just going to miss, and that could have made all the difference here. There's now a 1v3 required. Time ticking down as well. This is not looking good for Shox.
Yeah, these 2 low players makes this round possible, but again, Shox is not to know of the exact HP of these SpaceSoldiers players. He's just top of the board right now alongside Paz, so that's a good sign. It's nice to see these players step up here, but we are early days, so plenty more time for different men to hit your screens with some frags soon. At least for now, Major's close to killing Shox. I don't think he'll be backing off into the B side. This is a fine angle. He can hold onto his gun here, go forward with an AK. And again, much as how you would expect into this round, I'd imagine G2 should be just forcing the issue. They got reset, they saved a gun, $1,400 loss bonus. You may as well just buy pistols and armor, see what you can achieve with that. worst case scenario, pistols with no armor. And yeah, they'll go for that. Pistols, no armor, saving a bit of money. I like that as well. It's cool to see Existence having turned this team from a team that loves to force, or a bunch of players that love to force, to now ones that make more reserved economical decisions. You know, we've got Deagles, but they've still got $800 left up for the future. So when we get to that buy round, they can have more utility, maybe that AWP.
Yeah, it's the rainy day fun now. Ooh, Kenny. Tap down one. I was expecting maybe a little bit more to come of that, but he is still going to go ahead and eliminate Paz at least. But here's Zantares getting warmed up with the taps down in mid. It's going to be a 5th round for SpaceSoldiers here. As much as, you know, we all have Existence, this is asking far too much of him. They're going to go hunting him down. Don't want to risk giving anything away, and they will not. So 5th round secured for SpaceSoldiers here, but still money a problem for G2.
Yeah, we'll still be that one more eco. Again, that reset from SpaceSoldiers just a couple rounds prior was pretty impactful in getting them off to the 6-1 lead. It's going to really break G2's chances of doing too much with these pistols. They've just got to wait for that AWP to come out. Smith's saving a lot of money as well, so maybe questioning the double AWP, which is very common on Cash in the sense of, like, you're going to see a lot of retaking, and if you want to play retake on A, throwing an AWP back at the CT spawn by the car, very good position to hold off from. However, the B site is a bit of a nuisance to retake with an AWP, or with any weapon for that matter. We'll see where G2 decide to go money-wise. For now, they are going nowhere but home, I guess, because this round is pretty unsuccessful. SpaceSoldiers 3 kills deep, and only Body and Shots left alive. SpaceSoldiers still super slow despite having a 3-man advantage. They want to make sure every box is checked. Dot your I's, cross your T's. Failed molly, almost killing Major. Never fun, but he'll get out of there alive, and now SpaceSoldiers culminate this push up on the A-bomb site.
Ooh, here's Sharks mollied out. There's a man wrapped round behind him, and then Calix and Zantares lock this round in. 6-1 early on for SpaceSoldiers, but now there's a buy on the cards for G2. And Kenny, I think quite critically, going to be bringing out that AWP here over on the CT side reasonably early on. Of course, we saw him denied that in the buy in round number 4. First time we've got to see him bring it out. Body's gone aggressive over here into mid, but the flash comes through it. Pretty much picture perfect. That said, he's going to have time to readjust. Does find Major. This is where we need to look to Zantares to pick up the trade, and indeed he will.
Nice push up on B though. In the meantime, Kenny S is going to catch out Calix with that double setup from G2. And the bomb only just being retrieved. Well, we do have Zantares all the way down in middle. It's a similar story for Shox, who's flanked the T spawn. So G2 now know this is an A play, but knowing is half the battle. And Zantares is battling his way to victory here in the CT spawn. Shox maybe on the hot flank, but this bomb's going to make its way to the site now with no way of Smith stopping it. That smoke is completely concealing this bomb cross that has yet to come through. Still chilling in main, and this only allows more time for Shox to get into position. The slow pace of SpaceSoldiers is going to come back to haunt them, but that shot missed from Smiths and made this round far more difficult than it needs to be. Flash banging him off the angle. Engine comes out. He needs to shut this door, and he does exactly that. Now Shox has to make a sound cue in order to get back into this round, and he'll give it a go, but Paz is on lockdown, not going to be letting him back into the site. Smith's now all that's surviving here for G2. And SpaceSoldiers, no rush to get this kill. Just try and regroup, try and get an off angle, and Engine will do exactly that from the top. 7-1, Harry. This is dominant.
Yeah, you want to say scary right now as well if you are a G2 fan, and that is that Zantares is looking genuinely terrifying. I mean, this man, usually it's pretty obvious whenever he's having a good day, and thus far, I would say it looks like he's having a good day. So keep your eye on him throughout this series. I imagine it's only onwards and upwards from here. And over on the side of G2, it's a good old-fashioned deco. Deagles across the board, with the exception of Kenny.
He needs to save that money.
He almost definitely does. And the push towards this B-bomb site coming on in. Shox
Oh, no.
Kenny, no, that's going to be him going down. Admittedly, only as the PT-50. The aim punch may be playing into it, but only Smith's left alive in a 1v4. It's not happening. SpaceSoldiers going to move on to an 8th round to their name. Another good round from Xantares. I'm getting a bit worried as well, though, because we often speak about how Kenny's kind of one of the big... I'd say, you know, you look at Kenny and Shocks, 100% within this squad to be the two at the top of the board, but Body, I would say, has been the more consistent one as of late. It's the worrying thing for me right now is Kenny not looking too inspired. And when you consider kind of the landscape, what we know is going on inside of GT right now in terms of those contract negotiations and how those have kind of started to slow down a bit, it gets you a little bit worried if this is how he's looking.
Yeah, right. Especially with the I mean, mentioned briefly on the desk, but the Water Boys, Zywoo, RPK, Apex, who else is there? Happy MBK? Is MBK on that team? No, I think he's still benched for G2. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's a bit of a squad right there, and they've had success in the couple of online games they've played so far. Not quite saying that, you know, they're definitely better than G2 now. We've not seen them at LAN, so let's give it some time. But yeah, there's definitely a chance that that team could find some success, and that would be really nice to see it. It's just on this G2 side of things. Well, 8-1 down versus SpaceSoldiers here in Pro League. At least today, things aren't looking too hot, but maybe this could be the chance for them to pull it back. Again, the double AWP is here. Harry Smith and Kenny going to be pulling those up for the CT side. And Smith, he's already on mid-lockdown, but they smoked the top of the boost, so we can see SpaceSoldiers actually managed to get out the boost and drop down as well. Xantares has not just dropped down, he's walked up highway, and Shock's not ready for that one at all. He's going to be annoyed at Smith after that round, and Xantares is just fragging like a madman.
Yeah, this is the sort of this is one of the reasons why people love Xantares so much. This is how he gets when he's having his A game, and look at him go. Xantares making this look easy. He's tearing apart what people used to dub the French super team, and he's making this. I was gonna say look easy. Finally, Smith's gonna be the man to shut him down, but the only issue is Major and the little engine that could have gone in towards his B-bomb side. They're going to be allowed to get that bomb down unless Kenny gets there in time. He's mollied off, but he might try peeking through it. Doesn't see anything as he does so, and this bomb's heading back around Smith's. Is he going to... He's very loud. Engine's going to hear all of that, and now that's the A-bomb site open for business. They know it. It's just Kenny left alive in a 1v2.
And he has only just realized the error. SpaceSoldiers have completely avoided him, and he's going to have to come in for a late 1v2 clutch with no kit. There is one dropped on the site, you can see there by A main, so if he does find these kills, it's certainly a winnable round. He's just got to be very fast. All this cross, can he find it? Of course he does. It's Kenny. But Engine is going to make it just under the barrel. And, oh no, Kenny, does he realize? Yeah, he's gonna spot him. This will be fine. But Engine hits the shot. The sneak into the angle for Kenny will not work out. But yeah, no. SpaceSoldiers are not picking up the AWP. Have we been looking at this pace that Xantares has been setting? He's up highway right now. When Smith is doing this, Xantares is in highway, killing the entirety of G2. So yeah, you don't want an AWP if you're SpaceSoldiers right now, because you are absolutely schooling G2 in every way possible. 9-1, again, we're back on pistols for G2. Typically a staple of French CS, but apparently nothing is working out here.
I mean, you know, if you're a SpaceSoldiers fan, you're very excited by this performance that we're seeing from Xantares right now. These are the sorts of ones that people will go on about. And there's Engine finding a quick double over here towards B. Xantares will get bested by Existence over here in mid. But still a long way to go if they want to try and find a round. And Calyx over to trade. Just Smith's left alive in a 1v3 over here towards Quad. Ooh, yep. I thought he saw him now. Never mind. 10-1 in favor of SpaceSoldiers right now. And there is going to be the investment coming in from G2 in this round. They're potentially move back into that double AWP setup. But it hasn't really been working out for them. They're going to go for it once again. It's a lot of money, though, to keep on investing into these double AWPs. And especially, you know, you look at the pace from SpaceSoldiers. The AWPs have done nothing at slowing that down. Smiths as well, very limited in terms of his utility, as his shocks, and that's going to be such an issue when you look at how fast SpaceSoldiers have been playing. They're looking to do it once again. They're looking to try and set this blistering pace in towards the A bomb site. And here's Smiths, he has no utility. If he had an Incendiary now, he could look to try and drop one to just delay this push by himself some time. They do line up. He's got to deliver with the AWP. He has to stand and deliver. He's going to get shut down by Engine. 3 on 3. The rotation's coming in at G2. So much still to do as this bomb is about to go down.
Such a nice bait peek from Engine to force a shot from Smiths, knowing that he can re-peek while Smiths is cocking the barrel back, or cocking the gun back. Kenny S, the other AWP player here for G2, back in with a frag, and now with the man advantage, this retake will be kick-started. If they can't win this round, I don't know what they can win, but the problem is Major's firing off back again. The IPL for SpaceSoldiers, he is taking off their brains. Engine doing the same, and 11-1 Harry. And the money again removed from G2, at least from these double AWPers, Smiths and Kenny on 3k, everyone else able to buy. I wouldn't be surprised to just see them force it, because again, we're 13 rounds in, and they have won.
It's just that, I mean, there's the tactical timeout. For SpaceSoldiers, this is absolutely unreal. The pace that they're setting, coming, of course, off the back yesterday, splitting a series with Astralis, and then following it up, splitting a series, I think it was, what Mouse Sports. You know, fantastic stuff from them there, and I imagine they're going to be feeling pretty inspired on the back of that heading into this. I mean, those are two of the toughest people in the Pro League, I think, thus far. You've already split the series, and then you kind of look at the rest of the teams now for SpaceSoldiers. I mean, obviously you still have your FaZes, you still have your Navis, but you know, I mean, if you could be splitting maps with the top teams in the world, and then, you know, beating the ones that you should be winning, that's how you go ahead and secure yourself the spot at Pro League finals right there, and that's what SpaceSoldiers are very much looking to do. Early on, it's going to be the play over here towards this B bomb site by the looks of things, and they're just going to be running it almost entirely unchecked. That nade onto Kenny, going to go to get rid of him before he even gets a look into this round. Zantara is dropping existence, and once again, G2 unable to do anything here to deny this ground the way of SpaceSoldiers. They're trying everything they can. Shocks pushing all the way up through main, desperate to try and find some sort of consolation, but instead he just goes down. Smiths gives up B, and it's body left in a 1v5. Maybe he kills Antares, he does, but he's still got so much more to do, and that's not a consolation right there. This is just playing with their food at this point in time.
And isn't it delicious? I mean, going back to your point you just made a minute ago, yeah, this is not what I expected this season for SpaceSoldiers, right? They just came off a Blast Istanbul. If there was any event where they were ever going to play well, it's the home crowd, it's in Turkey, the first big CSGO event in Turkey, and all they do there is they win a game versus NIP, they beat VP, okay, they lose to Cloud9, you know, there was nothing there really for SpaceSoldiers. They top 4 the event, okay. And, you know, I was kind of underwhelmed by that performance. But now they come into EPL, and like you said, you just recounted some of their wins. To add this on top, which I think is over now, not going to lie. This game is looking... I mean, G2 are just not looking in this at all. This could be their season, without a doubt. Yes, they made last Pro League finals, but this could be their season where they actually... You know, maybe make a bit of a run for it in more than one way. So
yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure they were the first team to qualify for the Pro League finals last season. So you know, maybe looking to try and outdo that once again. No. As in the first team, like to lock it in as like a guaranteed thing. But then I think they slipped back down the board.
I mean, yeah, that doesn't really matter anyway, because it's just down to when your games are scheduled, etc. Who you're playing in what order. So less important than your exact ranking, your placing in the Pro League. I think Mousesport's top last season. They love some online games they do, and so does Antares. Unfortunately, he's dead this round, but no one else is really for SpaceSoldiers. They have a 3v2, and already going into the city spawn, who needs flashbangs? Not Engine. He's already on the P250, and I mean, if no one kills him there, Harry, I'm losing hope.
Yeah. Here, are you prepared to say that if G2 come back here, you'll eat a shoe or a boot or whatever it was?
I mean, not a boot, because that's just unrealistic. You can't eat.
You'll eat a shoe. You'd gladly eat a shoe, but not a boot.
Yeah. A boot's leather. Like I don't want leather inside me.
Why not? That's like the closest one to a meat at least.
I could definitely eat a croc.
You'd eat a croc if G2 come back. Well, then let's see.
Yeah, sure,
it's all on the line. If G2 manage to dig deep and come back here and cash, then Hugo eats a croc. And if not, Well, then nothing happens. He just agreed to it, and I guess, Space Soldiers just win if they win. Let's see. Already, Major's gone down, so GT looking to try and play their hearts and minds out now that it's all on the line. It's not just about the win anymore. It's about the embarrassment.
I was slightly worried, but not really.
You're going to get the Vince Hill experience.
That was so funny watching his reaction to that game, especially when it was 14-1, and like bit by bit, he's just getting more and more angry. Well, this round's something for G2. A second maybe on their CT side. I'll be the half that there and then though. And hey, Harry, throwing out a bit of a cliche. They're going to need pistol. Well, they're going to need this as well, because Antares doesn't want to give it away to them too easily. He's going to take down Shocks, going back in for more. That's a Z smoke. No one going to be there anyway. Won't make too much of a difference. Paz peeking up towards that A site through the squeaky door. Rest of Space Soldiers in main and mid, respectively. And Antares is split up mid. This could be very well timed. They're not going to be ready for this. He's even wrapping in through the CT spawn. He's going to hear these footsteps of Body. Oh, sorry, Kenny, yes, that's a free kill. If he can get up towards a car as well, he could be such a nuisance to the backline of G2, but there's only 20 seconds left.
Look at Zantares. He's just out of his mind. 14-1 as him and Calyx, they are delivering in spades right now. This is absolutely unprecedented from Space Soldiers. We know that they've looked good as of late, but Zantares is coming into this server, and he is very much living up to the hype so often generated around him. This has been absolutely fantastic for Space Soldiers and absolutely abysmal for G2.
What? How many? Is he on like 24 kills right now?
Yep.
After that round, 24 kills in a half. Dear oh dear.
He's looking to break records. It's a shame if G2 were killing, a few more people, just bringing this a bit closer.
Yeah, right.
Then, he could definitely go for the record run for kills in a regulation game with how he's playing right now.
And not just Antares, Major on your screen as well. He's second top of the team. Major's been having a great game and a great few games as well in Pro League. He's been definitely shining through. And this is not one of those players that you look to, to have a top tier individual performance, especially when you've got the names on this team that you do. Zantares and Calyx, these are the fraggers. But Major's really been holding his own, and Space Soldiers have looked very solid. So, yeah, 14-1 half. Doesn't get much easier than that.
And I find it, I'm not 100% sure, but it feels like we even have to cut that replay a little bit short just because of how many highlights we have for Space Soldiers at this point. It felt like, we went out on a limb and made them a mini frag movie. 14-1, Hugo. Every round has been a highlight reel for Space Soldiers. And we're about to head into the second half. I'm not even going to ask you what needs to happen here for G2 to pick this up. Obviously, they need this round. If not, it's 15-1. Space Soldiers have done it. So, yeah, that's just maths for you. Simple, plain, and all the same. G2, little bit utility on Shocks in existence.
Oh,
Space Soldiers stacking everyone over here in mid. This is interesting. They're already get up on top of the hut, and Zantares able to open up. He's already found Kenny. Smiths goes barreling in towards a B bomb site, though. He's going to get that for free. The bomb can look good to go down, and Body in existence. They have been able to pull this back to a 3-on-3 with bomb going down inside of that B bomb site now.
Oh, nice shot from Body as well. That's going to pinch a Major stuck in the vents in between two. Shocks fires a bullet to his head, and Paz is all that remains now for the Soldiers. 1v3, Shocks not going to fully commit to that angle. Paz checks the corner, nice shot, but it's a double peek. He can isolate these duels, he can hide from the second man, but Body closes the distance and will get the kill. Paz have to peek out wide there. 3 frags for Body as well in the pistol. And G2, they've doubled their rounds.
Yes, they have, but that's not going to be enough. Sadly, 2 is not where they need to be, Hugo. The Space Soldiers just going to go ahead and take a full eco here, with the exception of Engine. He's gone for a D, and I like that. They have all the breathing room in the world right now. So may as well focus on grabbing the best buy they can when they finally get round to it.
You don't need to take these fights to Deagle players. That's just a risk. G2 are killing the USP men up on this A site instead. Engine not going to be able to get the kill. No. So nice clean round from G2. That's exactly what they need, Harry. Obviously, it's 14-3. But they want as much money as they can going forward in their second half. Space Soldiers Another eco ahead of them, more USPs. Well, I mean, we can see some slight investments because they're going to have a buy next round regardless, but nothing too heavy here. Engine ecos, everyone else buys. I mean, he's not listening. He's not in team speak, Harry. But obviously, he spent that money in the previous round, so should probably just save it.
Let's see, can this mostly deco buy be able to do something for SpaceSoldiers here? It's going to be Zentaris holding off at main, and there's one chiming in for the big carry here on this CT side. He's good for that first kill. They're going to boost him back up, but he does get spotted. They know that he's here, and with Paz to find it. Not Zentaris, but still the Deke doing damage. That's Kenny to go down, and now alone and inside of main is Smith, struggling, but still fighting back as best he can. Falls now, bodies all the way down here in Z, but he can't get caught sleeping. He's going to try and find the frag on a major, and indeed he does, but he's riding the dinner bell, and they're going to go hunting for him now. He's tagged down low. It's Existence who has to try and bail his teammate out, and he's going to find that first and the second as well. So by the skin of their teeth, G2 locking in a 4th round. Only issue is that was versus pistols, no armor. Now the buy's on the horizon for SpaceSoldiers. Orp going to be out for Kenny, but pretty hefty reinvestment here from the T side. Not going to set them up well if they lose this round.
Calyx is on his own AWP as well, the first we've seen from SpaceSoldiers. If you can believe that. Paz playing that solo A bomb site. Zentara is trying to lock down middle with a double setup alongside Engine. And then 2 in B as well, but they've also got a vent boost up to just make this mid hold even more doable now for SpaceSoldiers. But it won't be mid where G2 hit, it will be that A site, and 2 quick entries from the Frenchman will make this one look very, very easy. That might even just force SpaceSoldiers' hand to save. It's very unrealistic considering they've not done any damage here.
Well, Hugo, maybe you're going to have to start looking at what flavor of croc you want to eat, because Calyx definitely on. 5-14 right now. G2 going to be keeping 5 alive. It's Kenny and Body topping the charts along with Existence up there. It's been a pretty quiet game from Shox thus far, but they still have a little bit of time to try and tell us Major.
Oh, he heard that. Yeah. Nice exits from Major. Engine will get away with his life. So 14-5. I'm not worried just yet, Harry. Give him some time. A couple of rounds. That's the thing. All it takes is one mistake from G2, and then boom, suddenly this could be done.
Still, you know, the aggression's been looking good from G2. They've been training together around, and now the shoe's not on the other foot. It's potentially on your plate, Hugo. You know, you might have to get ready to dine on into that. I mean, it's still a long way to go, and SpaceSoldiers have looked fantastic. The one thing is, G2 doing a great job of matching that fast pace that we saw from the first half and coming in swinging here. They're going to have another shot at resetting the economy of SpaceSoldiers in this round, and that's how we're going to have to see them start to chain some of these rounds together. We need to see them take control of this economy, really try and start shutting down SpaceSoldiers pretty convincingly at that.
G2 have barely left spawn. They can't even get into A main just yet. The Molotov cutting them off. Now we're going to see Kenny move in, but oh, that timing of the nade. Perfect for Zentaris. The only problem is Kenny is still there. And trust that man's reactions, they are very good. He's going to be able to get that kill. And now G2, quick A execute. Paz, the only man committed to the site. Major can try and join him at least as Paz smokes himself out, tries to just delay this push. Major going for the cross shot as Paz gets wall-banged out by Kenny. That's unfortunate. G2, now they've got 2-man advantages and they're going quickly into this site. Again, SpaceSoldiers, we've seen this exact same round just in the previous. They're trying to hold on to their guns. They're trying to desperately run away, but Body is already hunting down those saving players. G2 know this round is theirs for the taking.
And this is scary because, can we just go check, was Paz playing Forklift?
No, he was playing backside quad.
Backside, okay.
Yeah. No, I thought it was a wallbang from Squeaky as well, but no, I think he just clipped him through the edge of this box.
Yeah,
there we go. Yeah. The reason Kenny has shot him there is, well, maybe he peeked, didn't see it, but he got molly. They smoked the molly, so Kenny knew he was there.
Still, Kenny's starting to find his footing a little bit now. Yeah. He's got that AWP. He's been opening up these rounds. He's been doing the damage. And a 6th on the board for for G2 rather.
flawless as well. Oh, yeah, staying that way. We can have drops over from SpaceSoldiers. We can certainly have a buy here. Calyx had $6,400, so if he gives up on any utility, that's 2 M4s and a flashbang. Throw that over to his team, and yeah, SpaceSoldiers are fully equipped, but they're not going to do it. They're going to decide to eco. Calyx went for some utility regardless, and everyone else pistols and armor. Not a worry. They're going to be able to buy up fully next round. This loss bonus is building up now, and that's a positive here for SpaceSoldiers. Either they're rich or they win the game, one or the other, and eventually the latter might happen. Flash up highway. Body's going to spot the AWP, but not going to be going down just yet.
And in response to this, look at this rotation from SpaceSoldiers. Everyone pulling over here towards B. They're taking the gamble early on. Leaving Zentares to push up through main, and that's exactly what they've gone for the rotation. Bomb is going to be retrieved by Existence, but he's hopped down. They've committed to the B bomb site now. That bomb's trapped in Checkers. Existence going to manage himself another. Calyx now sits here alone with the AWP in hand. Zentares on this wraparound from behind, though. He is going to get noticed by Kenny. The bomb dropped, though, as Calyx shuts down Checkers. Now he's got to start playing chess. The mind games, the peek's coming on in. They know where he is, but Calyx finds the shot on a Kenny. Now into the 1v1, but he doesn't know the Shox has crossed. He's got no idea, and Shock's going to go ahead and shut him down. G2 moving on to a 7th. Hugo's gritting his teeth at me because he's getting a bit worried now. He wants to describe this game as delicious. I'm wondering, Hugo, are you going to now describe the croc that you might have to ingest?
We're not that far yet.
You wouldn't eat leather, which comes from a cow, which can be eaten. It's not good for you, but it can be eaten. But you'll gladly eat like rubber or whatever it goes into making a croc. I have to question your thinking.
I'm confident, and Betway is as well. And I respect that. 1.06 odds for SpaceSoldiers.
You haven't heard the lore of all the rounds. That's what happens here in Pro League, Hugo. It's never a fast game. They're always a slightly longer affair. Here's Major looking to try and prove me wrong. He's going to go to find that first, but a couple of shots being missed left and right. Somehow he's still alive. This is the most drawn out and awkward fight you've ever seen in your life. Major, how is he still going? He's still alive, and now it's just Shox and Smiths here. 2v3. They've turned their attention rather back towards this A-bomb site, which currently is void of all life.
But they don't have a smoke for the cross, and Paz can just sit here on the car and lock it down. They'll choose to move in regardless, and that's why G2 are actually wrapping the squeaky door, because they don't want to make that big cross. But Smith's crossed into the open. Paz finds both. And SpaceSoldiers, they're going to cross a round win off, Harry. 15-7. Bit of a comeback for G2, but it will be held short for now. However, this game is far from over. They have the money to buy up and to continue this game and try and bring us to OT. WP, one per side. Once again, G2 reluctant to run 2 AWPs on the T side of Cash. You don't want to do that. Straight back up for an A play. This is where they've been mostly successful all half. The problem is, there's about to be a flashbang through.
Still a body playing the anti-flash there, protects the rest of his team. Here's the bodyguard, as it were. Found them at advantage. They continue this aggression. Pass. That's the bomb dropped down at his feet. The flash is raining high, but Calyx going to chime in with another. The remaining players here, Kenny, Shox, and Existence, desperately trying to claw their way back into this round, but it's just not happening. There's only Shox left alive, and in a 1v4, he's going to get shut down. SpaceSoldiers close it out here on Cash in a very dominant fashion. They also save Hugo and his stomach from having to ingest the shoe. So, yeah, you're probably feeling pretty good about this one, as are the SpaceSoldiers fans out there, Hugo.
I am indeed very happy. Great win from them as well. They have been looking damn good this season already, splitting maps with Mousesports and Astralis last night, and now going ahead and taking a 1-0 victory so far against G2. But Harry, still a chance for more. Second map in just a minute. Join us after the break.